Now, Erie's premier podcast. News about music, health, and what's happening. It's Breakfast with Nat the Hat in the 814, sponsored by Erie Insurance.
Well, good morning, LECOM listeners, and welcome to Podcast 16. It's the ultimate health and wellness show. I would prefer to call it Fit as a Fiddle in the 814. Happy Chinese New Year. And now that January is in the rearview mirror, and as you and I both know, resolutions do begin to fall apart. And if you're like me, they are forgotten by now. So I always have good intentions, but again, I've let my mind and body down. That's why I've scheduled this show in February to help you either get back on track with your journey, your health journey, and exercise, or start a new campaign. On the show this morning, I have got Matt Probonik. Matt is a fitness industry professional and visionary who has helped improve the lives of thousands and change the way entire communities receive, practice, and define exercise. Exposed to the industry at a very early age, Matt witnessed his mother, Carol Taylor, pioneer aerobics, female fitness, equality, and inclusion, HIIT training, and blended cardiovascular and strength programming, all while managing fitness club operations and development amongst the first generation of female industry leaders. Warned by his mother not to get into the industry, Matt dabbled in college for less than 2 years in general study and then later moved to South Florida, seeking a larger scope of options and opportunities. Now, while in South Florida, he was urged by friends and learned of modern opportunities and compensation in the industry. So in 2001, he began his tenure and quickly became a top industry pro and went on to create fitness club, home, and outdoor training systems. Now at 41, with a 20-plus years of experience under his belt, Matt owns 4 well-known fitness clubs totaling over 8,000 members. That is incredible, Matt. Can I tell you that? And you know what? When I looked at what you call yourself, I loved it. A fitness professional, an entrepreneur, a lifestyle evangelist, which I dig the most, I got to tell you, and a visionary. Welcome to this show, Matt. It's great to have you on. I kind of would like to call you the Jack LaLanne of the 814.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you remember?
Don't go there. Thank you. That was a really good introduction, by the way, and I'm flattered. I'm really flattered to be here. And this is the right time of the year to be talking about this stuff. And, we see it at our clubs every single day. And I'm really excited to share.
I know, at the beginning of the new year, I'm sure the club is packed with people.
You would think so. But since over the last 10 years, we've seen a big change. We're in a phase of generational shift, and people learn. We can't forget that we learn our tendencies, and we start to accept those tendencies. And I, for some maybe learned reason, have an innate ability to kind of see patterns and trends happening. And I can judge that from where I am because I'm on the floor so much by volume. And March is really the month where people in this region turn it on, because you've got more legitimate motivation. You've got a set time that you're working towards. You've got something on the line, like you want to fit back into that wardrobe and feel your best when June rolls around, so you can feel confident at parties and in the different clothes. All winter long, we can kind of get away with a lot. And
we can hide a lot, right?
and when we're building programs around that to help people embrace that. And that's kind of what I really enjoy about the Northeast, is that people can spend some time just chilling out a little bit, not trying to be so perfect with everything, and you spend some time in a different type of training.
What a great vision, Matt.
Yeah.
To think that, we have some downtime, is what you're saying.
Yes, we do. Yes, we absolutely
And then when we
do.
start shedding our clothing in the 814, we realize that. So basically, this is a perfect time to have this podcast and talk to you about getting fit. And tell me more about Mom.
Okay.
I need background on Mom. She sounds like a sensational person.
So I grew up during an era of aerobics, and I was an infant in the child cares at the gyms, eating lunch on the aerobics room floor, putting my greasy hands all over the mirror. I've got pictures of it. And I saw the industry change from a very young age, and I saw and I remember a lot of happy people, active people, smiling, big voices. When you're at a fitness club, it feels kind of like you're at a family party, hi, how you doing, and all those things. And I felt really comfortable in it, and a lot of people helped me feel comfortable. But the compensation was different at that time. Nobody really had it figured out. They didn't know if it was going to make it or what the trend was going to do. I think at the time, the professionals in the industry and the owners of the clubs were they were kind of teetering on like a lack of confidence that things were going to continue to go in this direction, that people were fanatical about fitness and what was next and who was going to make it. You had Lady of America, you had Jack LaLanne, and the aerobics thing was like a big move in a different direction.
Right.
A bit risque and like high energy and like, where's this going to go? So, when I was young, I said, Mommy, I think I want to be a personal trainer. I want to get into fitness. And she's like, oh, no, there's no money in it. I remember the day she's, saying, you want your kids to have a good career where they can, support a family and move along. And I believed her because, she's never lied to me and she speaks the truth. And so I, spent some time in college and kind of just thought about what I wanted to do. Couldn't really pin it. I was one of those guys. I was just pretty much lost, looking to just maybe experience a bunch of things, have a good time, just enjoy a nice climate. And that in itself was really scary for my family. And it was an interesting time for me because it was unsettling, but it was exciting. And I went through that whole 20-year-old thing,
We all do.
But all the while, I found myself in the gym, and I was, always in the gym working out, and I met a lot of great people, and they found that I knew a lot about this stuff because I had just been doing it for so long. Yeah. And my first job was a towel technician. I was a towel boy.
Wait a minute. Towel technician.
I was a towel technician, and I was a towel boy at the fitness club that my mom managed. And I used to direct traffic during the holidays in the snow when you couldn't find a parking spot. I'd be out there with the
so
things.
that was here, right, Matt?
Yeah, right here in town.
Right here in town. Mm-hmm. Where was the center at that Mom?
It's, believe it or not, it's the Nautilus Fitness and Racket Club, which I now own, and now it's known as Fitness U.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a big circle.
I was going to say you've come full circle.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So Fort Lauderdale was the area where I was in, and I was encouraged to, get into fitness by my friends, and I wanted to, make money, and I wanted to be in fitness, and I wanted to be in this activity. And had a friend who had worked at one, and they got me into an interview, and I got the job, and was educated through NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine, where I got my, Trainer Fit Pro degree, and then I also got a master trainer level cert. And that kept me, earning at a top level. So I was working a lot, training a lot, and learned early on, the trainers who really were invested into the client by client, they really did well. And they
motivating.
Yeah. And you see the trainers who weren't doing so well, they were there, but they really weren't focused on the members' happiness, their enjoyment of the workout.
Because, and you're right about that, because if you're not happy doing your workout, then you're not going to continue to do it, I would say. And if you're not seeing results right away, that'll make you unhappy, right?
Right. And the good news is for everybody in town right now is that was a very dark time of training services because there was no online app program. There was nothing that you could take with you when you left your trainer. Everything was held in the hands of this individual who you were paying, $50 a session, 3 or 4 or 5 days a week, and you had to get your workout from them. So you're kind of like held hostage by this service. And
was that the no pain, no gain years? Would you say?
Because 2001, it was coming into more of like the health club spa where you had, a pool and saunas, and you had personal training departments, and you had more equipment. And with this new equipment, you needed to learn how to use it. And that's ultimately still what people want, is they want to join the gym and they want to learn how to use the equipment. Now we have all of this science backing recovery and how much is too much and how much is too little and what's how many times per week and ages and stages and safety and all that. And we were educated in that, but we had no real quick analytical technology where you could put everything as a coach to share with your client. And we went on like that for years. And just recently, we have finally received technology that blends all of your workouts with your club app so you can access your workouts if you're on vacation. The education that you've received and notes are always owned by you. And that's something that we believe you should be able to own and take with you.
So you're talking like kind of like a my chart.
Exactly.
Like say something like, you know, at AHN I have a my chart. So there is a chart that you have in the app so that somebody that's training with you gets on that and can do whatever they need to do when they're not at the gym, or you know, seeing the fluctuations. Are there stats too that go along with that?
Yes, and just like I was amazed, I'm a real advocate of, you know, early prevention and taking full advantage of preventative care. And I have in my UPMC app, and I went to the, you know, get my blood test for my cholesterol scores and everything. And, you know, I got this ding and I opened my app and it was like a day and a half later and I could see all of my results just like that. And that's exactly what we do with each and every workout that you go through. All of your personal bests are automatically loaded into your app. Yep. You get all of your successes, your badges. We even know how many total workouts you've done each and every time. And it allows us as coaches to be able to come into the session fully prepared, and we pull up your account 5 minutes before the workout. And before, it would have taken us 30 minutes to prepare for that session. But now, great trainers can be new trainers. Whereas before, if you were a new coach, you weren't really a great coach because you were just really hustling to get this person through a workout. It may not even be the right thing for them. So the experience now is more value for the customer, and it's more complete. And believe it or not, it's like the same price per session that we were charging 20 years ago. The price per session wasn't ever too high. It's just kind of stayed in this realm of affordability where you could do it, you know, 3 to 12 or 20 times a month and make it an affordable thing, maybe 1 month or 2 months, just to learn how to really use the gym effectively and take a program with you.
So when you're outside of the program itself, say that you know, the weather gets better in the 814, you're biking, you're doing stuff outdoors, will that be connected to that app as well? Absolutely.
We can pull videos and introductions and training from anywhere on the web. So we can take a link from YouTube, how to use a row machine, how to spin on a spin bike, or how to pedal outdoors on your ride better or more efficiently. And we can actually put it into the day designated for your outdoor ride. So you can watch that video and read notes from your coach and then check off that workout. So even that you're not with your coach, they're still able to see your activities. And we do all of that by finding out what your fit goal is, what your super why is, and what your smart goal is, so we can really build your calendar of events properly so you can recover like a pro, feel great every day, not lose energy or become dehydrated or frustrated. And we can do that by finding out what your personal goals are.
So what's super why? Tell me.
The super why stood out to you.
Yeah,
not the smart goal. That people love the super why. It's actually the emotional reason, the deep down heartfelt reason of what is this going to really mean for you? You know, when you have this physique or lifestyle that you've been thinking about and it's just been driving you crazy and it's frustrating you, what is it going to mean? What is that going to mean for you when you get there? So the super why could be very well be like, I just don't want to think about this hindrance anymore. It's stealing too much of my energy. Okay, that's great. And what is the hindrance? The hindrance is I don't like the way I look in the mirror. I don't feel confident in my own body. You know, I'm an executive. I work really hard. I have 3 kids. I've got a wonderful marriage. Everything is checked off. I just don't have control or knowledge about how to take care of this. And we're like, okay, so there is your physical goal. You want to change the way your body fat composition is. And your super why is that you want to feel like it's you plus nothing additional. Like you deserve to be.
I love that line, nothing additional.
Right. It's you the way God intended you to be. And you know you're there. And now you're like in this zone of like connection with your center where you've got everything locked in, you know how you're going to do it. And best of all, you know what you're going to do 3 months from now. You know what you're going to do when the snow starts flying. You're excited because you may be able to, that's when you get back into weight training 5 days a week again, and then you're excited to get back into beach walking again or do a 5K that you've been, practicing for. So if somebody doesn't really have knowledge or experiences like we have had our clients have, we share those experiences that not us, but our clients have had, share those stories, and then try to really motivate and inspire our clients to have a broader view of what's out there.
Well, I love when I pop onto the website and it says Erie Fitness Now, unreasonably committed to bringing Erie to a top-ranked healthiest city in America. That means so much, Matt, because there are so many unhealthy people that are, you know what I mean? I mean, even if you do exercise training, tell me about nutrition. What area are you in regards to what goes in your body comes out?
So, and I'll get to our mission. There's a lot in that, but nutrition is a lot like sinning.
Perfect. We just started Lent.
You know when you're doing the right thing and you know when you're doing the wrong thing. You don't really need biblical scripture in front of you to know that you're in the right or the wrong lane. But you do, that's why we have Bible. That's why we've got roots and facts. And, anytime somebody like me speaks, it's got to be spoken with a root in science, what this really means, how your body operates, why you're designed this way, and why that thing is making you feel this way. So as apologetic as I try to be for our own industry, not being able to inspire everybody to walk in a direction that is better for them because we haven't painted the right picture. And I will be apologetic about that. We try to paint that right picture. And right now we're really trying to do it in our contacts one-on-one with our members. But my vision is to take those exchanges and make that our marketing message to the community. And that's how you change the way a community thinks, is by sharing examples and testimonials of what is working and what's working for our generation. And in order to be a top-ranked healthiest city in America, there are a lot of things that need to be brought together, like accessibility, transportation safety, disease rates have to be lower, accessibility to education itself, facilities for it. And accessibility means having more of it going on in more places that are easier to get to. And
well, you have how many facilities in town now?
We have two facilities, but in each one we have like a specialty group fitness brand, and it's connected to the gym. So when you're a part of that group fitness experience, you get the gym for free and the childcare services. And then when you're a member of the gym, you get a complimentary week to try out, level art boxing or iRock fitness group fitness classes. And that's worked really well for us to educate your standard gym goers to this new thing.
Right.
And there's a really nice energy and crossing of those services.
So let's talk about the mission. Let's talk about the mission of Erie Fitness Now.
Yep. So our mission is really to inspire our members at this very moment. Our mission for our members is to be hands-on, hearts in. That's really quite our service mission. Now, inside of our organization, what we're really aiming at for our staffing is to be focused, to be dedicated and professional, and also to be human. We're losing the thought process every day that we are surrounded by humans with real needs, with real objectives, with personal ambitions, and there's personal things that are going on. And you need to constantly be in a state of awareness that who you're talking to may be going through something, and we can have this should be a place where people come to gain relief or new inspiration.
Very nice. Gain relief and new inspiration.
Yeah. And so you have, when you have a mission, you have a service mission, and then in order to fulfill that service mission, you really need a culture mission, and you have to repeat it over and over. And we've been in operation in Erie for 14 years, and we've done a lot of building. And when you're 14 years old as a person, you're learning a lot and you're getting smarter. Now, when you're 24 years old, you're banging against the walls. And when you're 34 years old, you start to kind of get it together. And when you're 44 years old, you're like, okay, people should start listening to me because I've been through it. I've learned. And you're always arguing with yourself. Am I a fast learner? Am I a slow learner? Am I doing a good job at like getting the picture? And around COVID and just after COVID,
I was going to say,
we made a dedication to let's just slow down and think about the human aspect of what we're doing and what we've learned and how we feel. And let's refresh our whole system of how we spread energy. And that was a big part in our branding of Erie Fitness Now, is that we wanted Erie Fitness Now to be a timeless pillar in the community, someplace where people could really feel like it was a community location and that we were thinking and making movements towards community improvement. So we sponsor a lot of community events like the Downtown Neighborhood 5K. We're getting involved with the Neighborhood Art House a lot. We do as much as we can with Erie events, just to be on site at events that are happening to bring awareness about, what we can do for you and things like that, and charities and things like that. But we want to spread outside of our four walls.
I love that because, most places just come on in, do what you need to do, then you walk out the door and that's that's the last you see of your fitness instructor, or maybe you'll see them out and about. But to be tied to the community is very important.
And, we always, in our website, we really say it really starts right here, because we are giving exponentially different and improved and better services than many other fitness clubs in the country. And if we can continue to grow our member base and do better as a fitness club, it will give us the ability to keep employees longer, pay them career salaries, and really put them on those missions. Like, you have the Downtown Neighborhood and Art House, sir, assistant manager. You've got like the 8 Great Tuesdays, and you're going to be on site with the tent. You're going to tell people about what we're doing, and you're going to rally for downtown and stuff like that. So, we have 5,000 members at Erie Fitness Now Level Red Boxing. So if I send a survey out today, like, hey, what would you like to see improved in Erie? And unanimously, it's like, we want better sidewalks. We're one place that could actually take that survey and share it with the mayor and say, hey, our members said that they really want cleaner sidewalks. And
Right.
I just thought I'd give you this survey because it's hard to get a 5,000 person survey. There's not a lot of places that have that many emails where you can get like a really good response.
That is incredible that you have over 5,000 members there. And then how many are over at the building on 15th and Pittsburgh then? What do you got there?
Yeah, so the Nautilus location, the Erie Fitness U location, is an older location. It's smaller square footage.
Right.
And we have around 2,200 members at that fitness club, and then we have hundreds more at iRock Fitness, and
So
that's really perfect.
How did you acquire? Because I used to work out at the Nautilus years ago, but how did you? Okay, let's go back to Florida. Then you come back to town, and then did you open a facility, or let's look at what you've done since you've come back to the 814.
I'll make it quick because I've had to tell the story a couple of times.
Okay.
I got a call. I was doing just fine in South Florida and missing my family a bit.
Sure.
I only got to come home a couple times a year, and it was almost 10 years. And my brother calls me frantically, and he's a junior in college at Gannon, and he says, I just took a general manager position at the Family First Sports Center, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I need you to come up here and help me run it. And I looked around, it was 2008, the housing crisis was going on, and my neighbors' yards are growing up to the middle of their doorways, and everyone's foreclosing on their houses. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to come back because it's not very good down here. And we did that. We managed together for a year, got reacquainted, got to, know each other. And while he was still at Gannon, we opened iRock Fitness right on Frontier.
Okay.
And then they were revitalizing that plaza, which is now Frontier Plaza. And it was a really, really great lifespan there. We loved the location, but it was small and we were growing. So we knew that with the amount of people in Erie, couldn't do just like a single location, and it would put too much stress on us. So we needed a large facility where we could have multiple services and business centers so we could work harmoniously and stay in business. We just really wanted to not have a rough go. We wanted to be able to service our members comfortably. And that facility really being so centrally located and with the confidence that we had working together, it rang that would be a solution. And it was a really, really nice exchange. We had known the family for a long time, and I think that we've been really good stewards of the Nautilus Center and the members who are still there from that time, and how we've redeveloped it and reinvigorated it.
So is Erie Fitness now open 24 hours on 12th Street?
Yes,
are you open?
Yeah, we had a huge ask for 24 hours for some time, and we had some road bumps in the when we acquired that location. We had some new competition move into town.
What was in there prior?
It was another gym.
It was another
Best
gym.
Fitness. Yep. And,
okay.
And they're out of the east. They're on the eastern seaboard, and
okay.
They were kind of pulling out of this market, and we had a vision for Level Red Boxing, and we knew we couldn't just do it by itself. And so we were looking for a location, and an opportunity presented itself, and with some help from our realtors and our business managers and our partners, we were able to acquire that business and acquire the lease, and then we were able to use free space to open Level Red Boxing. So
okay,
it was a really exciting time, and we had some big competition move in, which was scary, but the success of Level Red Boxing and the support we got from the community and the people who joined really helped get us through that. And then we began doing really, really well when that competition craze was over, and then COVID hit. And between that time, we had opened a series of Level Red Boxings outside of town, like Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cary, North Carolina, and we had sold some markets in Cleveland and Indianapolis. And, after that, we kind of made a decision that we weren't going to franchise anymore, that we were going to take a step back and reevaluate how we were going to do more, if we ever do more, and really focus on our home base. So we did a lot of really creative things in our own clubs following COVID. And I think that was the right decision, because we've been able to focus on getting ourselves back into the work and really building up teams to learn and understand how we want the service of fitness to be done, because no one's really doing it. There isn't a guidebook that could teach you it, how that hands-on hearts in really feels and looks. And it takes years to build teams of people who are on board with that and who really have inherited it, and they've internalized it and are practicing it.
Right.
We had some really great experiences during COVID with building outdoor fitness programming.
I was going to say, how did that all, like you had to shut down, so nobody's coming to the gym and things of that nature?
We learned a lot about the nature of how exercise is enjoyed, and learned that the outdoor experience is great when you're doing an endurance sport, such as running, biking. And we actually gained a high level of appreciation for those activities during that time.
Did you put anything online where people could pop up and do any of the exercises, possibly with their trainers, or did you do any of that?
Yeah, so we did Level Red Virtual a lot. We had thousands of hours of people using those workouts per week, and there was already quite a few online training, that you could buy. There was Peloton, and we decided not to step into doing a whole lot of like personal training online and push for that and have, try to build it and grow it and see what happens. It wasn't really a great time to like invest in something and see what happens.
Right.
We were part of a team that built an outdoor fitness concept with some industry leading professionals from Lifetime Fitness and TRX Training. And
is that right on 12th Street too?
Yeah,
or?
So they were outposts. We had an outdoor workout, and we built it out of a storage container right here in town.
Okay.
So we had gotten together with Modular Engineering and Warren Steel to build these outdoor workout facilities, and we ran that in Erie for 6 to 8 months, and people liked it, but we found that people really like working out in controlled environments. The outdoor thing is cool. It's just that it's not something that you really keep going back for. There's something about the temperature changes and you never know what it's going to be like. And it's a little bit more uncomfortable working out in the climate. Some people really like that, but we found that most people prefer to take on climate when they're going at a steady state, like running, walking, biking. And that's something that we're so thankful that we learned during that time, because we're huge. We're huge on really introducing people to riding and how to run and teaching them how to do things in lifestyle that you can just go out your front door and do. And if you have pain, we teach you how to pick a sport that it's not going to hit that pain. Like if you got hip pain, we're not going to get you out there running. We're going to see how riding works for you. If you can't ski anymore, we're going to talk about some other outdoor winter activities that you can do. And so you can enjoy these outdoor seasons that you like.
So Matt, the first time we talked, you said that you were going out of town for some things. Is this what you do? You acquire more knowledge? Do you go to other places and see what they're doing and incorporating it in your own fitness programs?
Yeah, I'm an open book. If you check out Strava, it's an online fitness activity app. You can join the iRock fitness team on Strava. It requires you to have a subscription, but Strava connects with your exercise tracker, whether it's an Apple Watch or a Garmin or anything. And you can look me up and request me as a friend, and you can see all the workouts that I've done. So I was in Orlando. My wife is a national cheerleading champion coach here for Mill Creek McDowell. And I get to go on all these excursions with the team. And anytime I do, you won't find me in the hotel room between 6 and 9:30 in the morning. I am taking an Uber to every fitness place I've read about in my journals, just to experience, where's their science coming from? Are they using the tools they have? Are they doing a good job? And who are they hiring? And what do I want to do? And what do I not want to do? And how do I want to feel? And how do I not want to feel based on my experience? So there's some places that do a really great job. And I'll get back in the car and I'll tell my Uber, hey, you got to go there. That place is awesome. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, you live around here, you don't go there? They're like, no, I don't work out. I'm like, you got to go. and I think that's why I'm on today, because I really feel that people would feel better every single day if they started it the right way. And I think I have something to say about that.
Let's talk about that. I haven't been back to the gym in several years. So what would I like? How do we start? Let's go. What do we? I mean, is it just one thing, or do we have to change several things? Or tell me how you get back to the basics.
Okay, so I'll use an example. My brother and I grew up playing baseball, and we got into chewing tobacco, okay? And it bothered me for many years. Now, nicotine is a very, very addictive chemical, and you quit and you think about it all the time for like years. And I got so sick and tired of thinking about it. When I was doing it, I got so sick and tired about thinking about quitting that I just quit. And the thought of thinking about quitting again was worse than, thinking about disease was worse than just thinking about it. So if you're at the place where you are tired of this thing, you're thinking about something you should do and you're not doing it, it's not your fault that you're not doing it. It's mine. It's my fault because I haven't shown you what you need in order to look forward to exercise. You really do need a program that matches your desire. So if it is feeling good throughout the day and seeing consistent increase of health benefit in your body, it only requires regularity. So when you do go someplace, you are going with some intention. What happens when you go to the grocery store with no intention? Like, you buy all the wrong things, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go to the grocery store with the list and the intention, you're kind of excited to go. You know how much time it's going to take. You get in, you get out, you accomplish your mission, you get home. People with lists and organization are a bit happier and in more control. I mean, everyone likes to be happy and be in control. So what we do as coaches is we find out what it is that you're looking for. We give you a quick program view and pitch you with an opportunity to learn your program. So what we're doing now is giving you this program, this 3-day or this 5-day, these are your workouts, and this is what it's going to do for you that matches your goal. And we teach you how to do it your first week. And then in your app, you can actually run through that same program for the next 3 weeks. And every 4 weeks, we level up another program. So we just create some change in the program that's going to keep the results coming using everything we know about the science of exercise, because people like to feel like they're on an upward trend. And that is really what everybody needs in order to go into exercise. Is they really need to have an expectation and a perceived expectation that what they're doing is going to actually work for them. So if you're in the position where you don't quite believe that going to the gym is going to give you anything except for an immediate good feeling after, that's not really enough gravity to
keep you going back.
To put your time into it. You're going to find other things to do with your time, things that you enjoy, pastimes, or, watching your favorite show. And that's okay. That's healthy. You're a good decision maker. You're going with how you feel. So to change the way you feel, it's more about like finding out who's offering what in town. So Google is a great tool. If you locally, instead of searching globally, if you locally search personal training fitness clubs or fitness programming fitness clubs, classes, easy classes, hard classes, boot camps, you're going to find places that are doing those things. And it can be an exciting experience to go somewhere new if you do it the right way. So I always recommend stepping in the middle of the day during your work day, walking in and, with your work clothes on, saying, hey, I'm really considering your place because it looked great on Google and I want to feel better and I want to work out that I can do 4 days a week. Like, really, that's all we need to hear. Most fitness places have gotten really good at listening first and servicing second. We don't like to talk over our customers. And there have been a couple of times where I've had grand plans and ideas for people and they're like, I can't handle that much. I just need to start with this one thing. And I've learned that if you kind of really think about going to the gym as more of a 20-minute endeavor rather than a 60-minute endeavor.
That's perfect.
It makes it a way easier visit, and limit yourself to that. If you get to 20 minutes and you're like, oh, I could keep going, this feels great, stop. Make yourself want to go back again. And what we've done is created a first workout that teaches you how to use a row machine, a bike, and a treadmill properly. And then you do a pulling motion, a pressing motion, and a squatting motion, all with body weight. So you really have this movement workout that you could literally do 3 or 4 days a week, or even if you're on vacation someplace. And from that, we grow other workouts. So the first workout you're always going to get with us at Erie Fitness Now, with me, is going to be this Erie Fitness Now Endurance and Strength experience. And it's about 35 minutes long, and anybody can do it. And we don't run on the treadmill. We don't make you sprint or anything or like huff and puff, but it's really for us to see how you move. And it's for you to have a great first experience. And we're dedicated to a great first day, a great first week, and a very educational first month. And if we can be part of that, our members are having success. We have found that people who start right and have a great first month have had phenomenal experiences over time.
Coming back.
And they're still coming.
And still doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you discuss any partnerships or collaborations your facility has with other businesses? I mean, do you go into businesses and say, hey, we do this and we'd love to have you to be part of it, and this is the cost? And do you do any of that?
So we have had inquiries from companies to do corporate programs, and we've set up corporate structure where it actually gives the business an opportunity to pay for their customers, but only on visit. So we do work with businesses, especially members of our clubs who have businesses who have inquired about it. We're like, this is what we're going to do. We build out your company's profile in the system, and your folks are underneath your profile, and they all have memberships, and you can actually pay per visit that your employees go.
That's great.
And that's been the best thing. We've done things before where, we go in and we give months at a time, and that doesn't really pan out because there's no way to track it, and people are just coming in, and we've done some highlights where we were like, this month it's this business who can come, and this month this is this business. So what we've really focused on doing in the years past is just take in requests from the members that we have and give them that opportunity. And that's not limited to just our members, but it's something that we've experimented with and we still didn't really get right. And we're really gearing up to do more one business at a time approaches. And in order to do that, you got to take on a really pre-planned, structured approach with the business owner to make sure that we've got the right objectives for the staff, rather than just going in there and saying, here you go. It's more about like, we really care about our employees being happy, and we want to do this for you. And we're going to do monthly rewards for anybody who uses the club one time per week, something like that.
And it definitely goes hand in hand with, work and then going to work out. A business, I would think a business would want to have healthy employees. They're on the job more. They're not calling in sick all the time. There's, you know what I mean? There's so many good things that would come out of that collaboration. With you
there's so few things that you can give your friends, family, or, employees or coworkers that is like good for them. Like you can do events, and you could do retreats, and you can do food, and you can give a lot of things that show that you care. There's not a whole lot you can actually give somebody that's going to facilitate wellness for them. And we're trying really hard to build out our locations so they're more approachable. They're easier to step into, and you have a very clear line of sight by just going to the website and going, okay, this is how I get started. So I think before we were a little weary about doing that on a large scale because we had some blank spaces in our sites for people to find out, how do I get in there? Who do I talk to? Who's the person? So I feel that over the last 12 months, we've really filled those gaps, and we've sampled out some great programming and put some great forms up that you can ask questions, visit our training pages and get responses, and get some free education when you come in. So all of our clubs, we do results guides when you come in, and we give it to you complimentary, whether you join or not. And building that relationship has really helped members feel more comfortable relying on a place, even if it's for a free week. Just the fact that we know about you and you know about us, and that you have some things that you can take with you today that will actually start helping you feel better, like better nutrition tips.
That's what I was going to say.
Exercise regularity and stuff
How
like that.
about your approach to nutrition in conjunction with fitness for optimal results?
I'm glad you asked. What we've found is that backing into macronutrient balance is really the best thing to do. All right. So you hear a lot of things online about macronutrients. Macronutrients are protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Carbohydrates and protein have the same amount of calories per gram as each other. Fat has more calories per gram. Saturated fats are bad. Okay. So you don't want to eat a lot of saturated fat. Poly and monounsaturated fats are good. You also don't want to eat too much of that either. Okay, you don't want to just drink half a bottle of olive oil a day and think that you're really healthy.
Tablespoons. I think they were talking about shot. Have a shot in the morning, have a shot at night. I've seen that.
So we know our macros. We, as coaches, we understand the calories, and then we have a good understanding of what an adult's daily resting metabolic rate is, which is how many calories you burn while you're awake and not at exercise, which is anywhere between, call it, to stay broad because we're on a public podcast, like 60 calories per hour to 100 calories per hour. Someone's going to burn when they're alive, awake. If you put your hand on your shoulder, you're putting off heat, you're burning energy, no matter how active or inactive you are. Okay. So we'll look at 1,200 to 1,500 calories per day for men and women at rest. And then we'll look at how many calories they're actively putting out beyond their normal, regular, moderate bed rest, situation. So you're looking at like another 500 to 800 calories a day, which is the red ring on your Apple Watch. The red thing is your active output. All right. So we try to match your daily caloric consumption through a balanced macro split. So most people are falling in the lines who are lifting weights. You can eat more protein because you need more protein to recover. That's the beauty of lifting weights. And it's good for your bones, and it's good for your mood, and it's good for your hormone levels, and has so many benefits. Lifting weights is really big right now. People are learning about the benefits of lifting, and they're coming in wanting to learn how to lift. And these are people who have been members of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gyms. Knowing how to eat when lifting is important, because if you don't eat enough protein and you don't eat enough carbohydrates and you don't eat enough fat, you may not recover well, and it could affect your sleep if you're eating wrong, and you might end up feeling more tired because you're exercising. You may even be looking better, but you're actually feeling more lethargic. And those are the reasons why we really tackle nutrition at the starting date of any coaching. And we want to do a better job at telling that story openly and spreading it more and more and more, because I think it's going to help build trust with the community to go, because they know that we have the answers. And it's frankly the only way we're getting customers at this point is because we're talking about our results guide, our free introduction, our free week of programming. We're getting more people coming in for that than a cheap membership or a price tag. It's really about fulfilling that need.
And Matt, you're on television quite a bit too, because I see you on in the mornings, and you talk about nutrition and things that are going on over at the facility. That certainly helps, correct?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I was given the opportunity, but believe it or not, my mom was on the news for years when I was a kid. She was on, I think, every Monday morning too on TV 24. And I was a huge fan growing up of like the Today Show. And I always found that I really got into the weather. I got into the cooking shows, and I found the fitness part third important. It was way more interesting to find out about like the best new running shoes, or how much sugar is in a bottle of Coca-Cola, or, all those different things. So I told myself, if I'm ever on the news, I'm going to make it really easy for the station, and I'm going to bring great content that kind of applies to everybody. So I like to talk about trends, what's working, how many calories are in a Thanksgiving dinner, what that means. It's okay. I always try to help people get out of the corner. Like, imagine you're in a boxing match and you get your brains beat in, and you're like, God, I just wish this guy would get off of me. And he finally does. And you're able to walk back into the middle of the ring again and get a square fight. That's kind of what I try to do on the show. I try to find out what's stressing people out, speak some reliable truth that everybody can understand. And sometimes that has really given people the freedom to go, okay, now that I know that other people are going through this and that's okay, I'm going to go and get the answer for how I can start moving forward. And no one really moves forward if they feel like they're in the corner. It's a really tough situation to be in. And I think everybody could say, hey, I'm in the corner right now in my life in this thing. And if it for you, it is health and nutrition, I want to say that you can find people wherever you are, reliable clubs who want nothing more than to listen to what's really on your mind and what you want to solve, because gyms today do have the solution. I just feel that fortunate that with our experiences doing it with less than we really needed, now that we have as much, if not more, than we really need as far as tools to serve our customers, we're doing it better than ever before, and we're doing it far more generously than most clubs in the country.
I've got Matt Probonik on the show this morning from Erie Fitness Now. How do you foster a sense of camaraderie among your members? Like, is there, I just feel like, like you said, it's like being at a party, right? Like, everybody's there. Most people are there around the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so at any great party, you have to have somebody who's really good at throwing a party. Okay.
Yes.
So if you own a home and you're throwing a party and you're not equipped to throw a party, you have got to invite people who are going to make the party a great party. Okay. Because you don't have the energy. You just worked all week and you just want to sit in a corner and just relax. So you've got to
You're right, Matt.
Yeah. You've got to get some high energy schmucks in there like me to come in and rile people up, and you're not happy unless everyone's happy. And those are the type of people that we hire, are people who aren't really happy unless everyone's happy. They're like peacemaker, party maker, fun making people, and that's the environment that they want to work in, and they kind of make it happen. So fitness clubs are great because you get people in there who really like to move. Like, these folks work here because they like the environment, and the owners, we're young guys and we're kind and we're considerate and we've been in the industry a long time. We really care about people. We feel confident to set the tone for the energy that's acceptable and fun and appropriate. And constant monitoring of your clientele is important. And if you start to find that it doesn't feel right, it could be because the design of your facility is actually set up wrong. It's not modern enough to handle your volume or to handle the new types of workouts and training that people are doing. So it has required us to actually change the way our facilities are set up, from the walking in lobby area to the person who's greeting you at the front desk, to the lighting, everything, to the sound. Maybe it's too strong or too low.
How about music? Because I'm a music gal. So do people usually listen to their own thing, or do you have...
More so now than ever. I don't. I actually, I'm just always in too much of a hurry to bring my headphones. And a lot of the stuff you do, you sit down and with your legs underneath a pad, your phone's in your pocket, and you're kind of like, oh God, this thing, So now that we're using the programming also, like, you kind of have to keep going to your phone for your program. So you set your phone on the floor and then you're working out. So we use Fit Radio, which plays a really great blend of, rock songs and, all these different decades, but it kind of has like an energy DJ'd curation to it that, that didn't exist years ago. So now we're able to play music that's more energetic, but you kind of like hear, oh, this is like Rolling Stones, but it sounds like it was remade in 2020 to some club beat or something. And people are having fun with that, and we're getting better at that. Instead of playing just one genre to satisfy one group at one time of the day, you can actually pick out like a 70s, 80s, and 90s remixed, curated playlist that really makes everybody happy. But now it's great because everyone's got Bluetooth and you can just kind of roll to your own thing or watch YouTube on the treadmill and stuff like that.
How about female trainers? How many you got over there?
We have about 50-50 male and female trainers, and that's been pretty consistent for the last 5 years. We, like I mentioned or like you mentioned in the beginning, there was a time when this was like a lot of guys were getting into the lifting and the exercise. They kind of had a head start. And I remember when my mom got her first pair of black Reebok step aerobics shoes, and I thought she was like the coolest person in the world. I was like, this
That's
is
how I started.
Yeah.
The aerobics, the step aerobics, went into what is it? Power pump, body pump.
Mm-hmm.
Did some body pump. Mm-hmm. Enjoyed those classes. So I think I'm more in your mom's there. I think maybe so.
And I, she was the person whose job it was to find these new classes and bring them in and demo them. And I just like remember watching women come up so strongly and energetically in this industry. And I am not a female, and I have always trained a lot of women. And now so more than ever, because of our programming, I'm able to train women on a women's program that I have never done myself. Women's programming often includes 3 lower body days and 2 upper body days. Men's workout programming includes 2 lower body days and 3 upper body days. Doing legs 3 days a week is something I've never done. And so we have female and male trainers in demand all the time. And if I need a female trainer because I've got women requesting women, it's funny, if you're doing good work and you're doing good business, what you really start to focus on for a moment, it starts to present itself. You start to see people who might make a great trainer. You've got somebody who's working, at the front desk and they're working out all the time. And like we can sometimes get in there and be like, hey, how would you like to be a coach? And we actually have a lot of people coming back. They're in their mid 40s and they're in their early 50s and mid 50s, and they're coming in to do coaching, and they used to be a personal trainer. And we're having a lot of fun with that because they are like, oh my God, these tools are amazing.
Well, Jimmy tells me that he has one of the best set of legs in the gym.
Yeah. Some people are blessed, they just have the genetics.
But at the same time, he always says that you have the best arms in the gym too.
So
I have heard that.
It's you can really, what your strong assets are. And oftentimes gravitate to focusing on those strong assets. And what a coach's job really is to do is focus on the instability, on the needs that we see you having in movement, and acknowledge that, hey, well, I know you love doing legs and I know you love running and doing HIIT training, but we have really got to focus on this muscular imbalance that you have in the posterior back part of your body that's causing you to have this, lower back issue or neck pain. And it's nice when you have someone you trust reeling you away from your tendencies and you can act like a 9th grade high school student who's like, no, I want to do what I want to do. And it's like, yeah, I know, but we're going to do what you want to do. But we are going to do this too. And you're going to end up loving it. And I'm really in the best place, most happy place of my career, knowing what I know and being able to share with people the successes that other people like them have had. I can say, You're so A-type, and they love hearing that. And, you know what I mean? Yeah. You're so A-type, and I know how to deal with you. And I'm just so excited because we really want to focus on the generations, the growth of these generations. We have a huge 50-plus population coming in, and they really are conscientious of their health. And I believe that as you age and you start getting away from things you used to do, you start listening a little bit more. You start taking in information. And I'm excited about our position in the community, that we've been around, where you can trust what we've accomplished and we've done. And we've got testimonials from people who feel a lot better.
Do you do before and after shots?
We do. Actually, it's inside of the app. So part of our process monthly and at the beginning of your programs, we talk, we establish your goals, we take your starting statistics, we take your front, side, and back picture. And if you're really in tune, if you really want to look at the definition of your muscle, you do it with shorts and no shirt on. And ladies can do it with your shorts and like a sport bra or something like that. And just to see where you're at. But we love that. And every single month we retake them, and it's all scheduled in your plan. So the first 2 weeks of a month of a program, you're really learning your program and you're experiencing something new. You might actually get more hungry. You might eat more. You might just be more mental about it. But then 2 weeks before you get your pictures again, it actually motivates you to get really careful and conscientious and mindful about your nutrition practices. And we found that 5 days in a row of sound nutrition practice, eliminating toxins from your diet, not drinking alcohol, like Sunday through Thursday, really, really
concentrating on being good to yourself.
Your body will thank you so much. And we also teach you how to have fun on Friday and Saturday night, but what to do Saturday and Sunday morning so you can
get back into that.
Yes, because you need rewards. If you like going to concerts, if you like eating food out, you need to keep doing that. You need a reward. You need something to work towards. And that is the one thing that many facilities and coaches don't really talk about with clients. They forget that they're working with humans.
Right. And that we do. We like to have rewards.
Fun. Yep. And that's what we're working for.
Well, thank you so much, Matt Probonik, VP of the Erie Fitness Now, for being such a great guide to us for health and wellness in 2024. And I ask each of our listeners this morning to just try and improve one area of your health, right? It's one day at a time. And thanks for being on Breakfast with Nat the Hat. What I've learned from you is that sufficient sleep, exercise, healthy food, friendship, peace of mind are necessities. They're not luxuries.
Absolutely. And I would have, definitely encourage anybody listening to get a wearable device that tracks sleep, that tracks your daily activity. If it's one thing you can do today is get out and make a purchase and invest in a wearable device, maybe some new workout clothes, and put that to the test. And while you're at the club, peek it out and maybe tap the shoulder of somebody who's working with somebody else.
Thanks.
Get started.
Thanks, Matt. Make it a great week, everybody, in the 814.
You've been tuned in to Breakfast with Nat the Hat in the 814, sponsored by Erie Insurance on 88.5 and 102.7 LECOM Radio.